How to be elegant. Practical tips to become more poised and graceful as a woman. We often think elegance belongs only to women with designer wardrobes and perfect posture. But true poise has little to do with fashion labels and far more with intention and presence. What if grace became accessible in your morning routine, your conversations, your smallest choices? By the end of this video, you'll hold the keys, and I've saved something special for the conclusion. Number 1, control the pace of your movements. When you slow down your movements, you create an atmosphere of calm authority. It's not about being dramatic or stiff. It's about moving with intention. Quick, restless gestures can give the impression of being overwhelmed or uncertain, while measured pacing communicates quiet confidence. Think about the last time you were in the grocery store. 2 women could be reaching for the same item, one hurried, tossing things into her cart, and the other moving with care, scanning labels thoughtfully. Which one feels more centered? The difference isn't in appearance, but in pace. At the dining table, this becomes even clearer. The woman who takes time with her fork, who doesn't rush through bites, radiates composure. In professional settings, walking into a meeting without hurrying, setting down your bag calmly, and taking a deliberate breath before speaking shifts the way others perceive you. Psychologists have found that people who regulate their movements are often read as more trustworthy and respected leaders. The pace tells the world how you handle pressure, and when you show steadiness, others naturally mirror it. If you'd like to practice, start small. Place a glass of water on a table without making a sound. Walk across a room without your heels clattering. When you reach for your phone, do it with the same composure you would use in a sacred space. These tiny exercises train your body to move with quiet assurance, and before long, it becomes second nature. Number 2, lower your vocal tone, not your volume. Your voice is one of the strongest signals of presence. Research from the University of Glasgow shows that lower-pitched voices are often perceived as more trustworthy and authoritative. This doesn't mean you need to be loud or forceful. It simply means finding a grounded tone that carries steadiness. There's a big difference between tone and volume. Many women, especially in professional settings, push their voices louder when they want to be heard. But louder doesn't always equal stronger. It can sometimes come across as strained. Lowering your tone, even slightly, communicates calm assurance without demanding attention. Think of a team meeting. The colleague who raises her volume to cut through noise may capture a moment, but the one who speaks in a steady, lower tone tends to hold attention longer. Or in a personal conversation, when you soften your pace and lower your pitch, the person across from you leans in, not because they have to, but because they want to. A common misstep is believing that confidence means projecting outward. In truth, confidence is felt in how you hold yourself, and your voice becomes an extension of that. By lowering your tone instead of raising your volume, you signal composure, patience, and strength. Over time, this creates an impression of wisdom. It's why leaders, teachers, and even storytellers often speak in deeper, slower rhythms. The elegance comes not from speaking more, but from how each word lands. Number 3, pause before responding. There is a quiet strength in the moments you allow yourself before answering. That short pause, often just 2 or 3 seconds, holds more power than most words ever could. It signals to others that you're not rushing, that your response is intentional rather than reactive. When answers come too quickly, they can feel defensive or even careless. In contrast, the pause creates space for you to breathe, gather clarity, and choose words that reflect not just what you think, but who you are. This subtle act immediately elevates how others perceive you. Of course, many of us grew up in cultures where silence feels uncomfortable, where gaps in conversation are almost expected to be filled right away. You may have been taught that quick replies show sharpness, or that waiting even a moment suggests hesitation. But in reality, silence does the opposite. It reflects control. It communicates that your thoughts carry weight, that you are choosing to contribute from a place of calm rather than urgency. Consider a workplace discussion. A colleague asks for your perspective, and instead of jumping in, you take a moment. That stillness draws attention, and when you speak, your words land with more impact. In a family conversation, pausing can reduce tension turning what might have been an argument into a thoughtful exchange. And in debates or negotiations, that small delay can shift power, making others adjust to your rhythm instead of you adjusting to theirs. By practicing this habit, you not only gain clarity, but you embody elegance. It is a reminder that silence isn't emptiness, it's composure, and it's yours to use with intention. Number 4, curate neutral, calming gestures. Your body often speaks before your words do. Restless gestures, tapping fingers, adjusting hair too often, fidgeting with jewelry, distract from your presence. They send signals of nervousness or impatience, even when you feel completely confident inside. Elegance, on the other hand, thrives in calm, intentional gestures that support your words instead of competing with them. Hand movements and facial expressions are powerful tools. Used thoughtfully, they bring warmth and connection. But when overdone, they blur your message. Studies in communication psychology show that exaggerated body language can overwhelm listeners, causing them to focus more on the movement than on the meaning behind your words. Think about a group setting. The woman who waves her arms excessively or constantly touches her face may unintentionally appear less grounded. In a networking event, someone shifting from foot to foot or nervously clutching a glass comes across as uneasy. At dinner, constant motion, cutlery clinking, napkin adjusting, distracts not only from her own composure, but from the shared atmosphere at the table. The shift begins with replacing restless habits with neutral, calming gestures. Rest your hands lightly on your lap or the table. Keep your posture open but relaxed. When listening, let your face soften rather than overexpress. A gentle nod can communicate far more respect and attention than exaggerated reactions. With practice, these gestures become natural. They create harmony between what you say and how you move. The result is a presence that feels centered, grounded, and quietly elegant because your body is no longer competing for attention, but supporting your true voice. Number 5, stand with space, don't rush to fill it. The way you hold space says a great deal about how you value yourself. When you stand with balance and allow room around you, you project self-respect. But when you lean, fold into yourself, or fidget to appear smaller, you unintentionally signal unease. Elegance isn't about taking over space. It's about honoring your presence within it. Research in social psychology refers to this as territorial confidence, the subtle cues that show how comfortable someone feels in their environment. People who respect their own space are more likely to be perceived as composed and capable. Shrinking, crossing arms tightly, or rushing to fill every silence with movement can quietly undermine that perception. Think of everyday moments. In a queue at the coffee shop, the person who stands upright, with relaxed shoulders and steady posture, appears more assured than the one constantly shifting weight or leaning on counters. In a waiting room, sitting comfortably with open posture conveys calm, while hugging a bag tightly to your chest suggests discomfort. At social gatherings, a woman who allows space between herself and others radiates ease, while someone clinging to corners or clutching drinks defensively seems less grounded. You can practice simple adjustments. Keep your feet firmly planted, shoulder width apart. Let your arms rest naturally by your sides rather than folding across your body. Relax your jaw and soften your gaze instead of darting around. These subtle shifts build a physical language that communicates quiet confidence. By standing with space, you affirm that you belong exactly where you are. That grounded presence doesn't just look elegant, it feels elegant, and it invites others to meet you with the same respect. Number 6, use silence as part of your presence. Silence, when chosen intentionally, can be one of the most graceful tools you have. It carries depth, drawing others toward you rather than pushing words out in search of connection. When you allow moments of quiet, you give space for your presence to do the speaking, and often that speaks louder than anything else. Talking less doesn't make you less engaging. In fact, research in communication studies shows that people who use fewer but more deliberate words are often perceived as more magnetic and self-assured. It's the rhythm of speech, the pauses, the rests, that create elegance. Think of music. The notes matter, but so do the spaces in between. A common misstep is over-explaining. Many women feel the urge to justify every choice, every opinion, often as a way to avoid being misunderstood or to gain approval. But layering explanation upon explanation doesn't create clarity. It dilutes it. Grace lies in saying enough and trusting that your words stand on their own. Picture a presentation. The speaker who pauses after a key point gives the audience time to absorb it. Or an introduction at a networking event. Saying your name and role with a brief pause feels stronger than tumbling into a lengthy backstory. Even in intimate conversations, silence after a heartfelt statement allows the weight of your words to linger. To embrace this practice, start small. Count a gentle 1-2 before replying. Take a conscious breath after finishing a sentence. Let silence rest without rushing to fill it. With time, you'll discover that quietness doesn't signal absence. It radiates elegance, composure, and profound presence. Number 7, align your posture with your breathing rhythm. Elegance begins from within, and the way you breathe shapes the way you hold yourself. Posture and breath are inseparable. When they flow together, your presence feels natural and grounded. When they clash, you either look stiff or unsettled. True poise is not about forcing yourself upright, but about letting breath guide the body into balance. Many women make one of two common mistakes. They either lock their posture into rigid perfection, which can look tense and unnatural, or they collapse into shallow breathing, which drains energy and weakens presence. Both extremes interrupt the harmony between how you feel inside and how you appear outside. Breath-paced posture helps to reduce anxiety and release tension. Slow, steady breathing expands the lungs, opens the chest, and naturally lengthens the spine. Instead of appearing forced, your stance becomes fluid. This inner steadiness has measurable effects. Studies in clinical psychology show that deep, diaphragmatic breathing can lower stress levels and heart rate, creating a calmer, more elegant state of being. Think about stressful meetings where shoulders tend to tighten and breath becomes shallow. Aligning your posture with slower breathing brings quiet authority back to your voice. Or in social introductions, where nervous energy can creep in, grounding your body through breath instantly makes you appear more at ease. Even in solitude, standing or sitting in rhythm with your breath restores composure and focus. To practice, place one hand lightly on your stomach. Inhale slowly until you feel your abdomen rise. Then let your spine extend upward as you exhale. Repeat this until movement and breath feel like one rhythm. In time, you'll carry this harmony into every setting, radiating calm elegance without effort. Bonus point: dress your energy before your clothes. True elegance begins long before you touch your wardrobe. It starts with the energy you carry. Clothes may shape how others see you, but the presence you radiate shapes how you are remembered. If your spirit is unsettled, even the finest outfit will feel incomplete. But when your energy is aligned, a simple outfit can feel like couture. Before stepping out, take a moment to set your energy. This could be as small as pausing for gratitude while sipping morning tea, or choosing one intentional thought for the day. Stillness, even for a few breaths, creates a foundation of calm. When you walk into your errands, your meetings, or your gatherings with centered energy, you project more grace than any label could provide. This is the invisible layer of elegance most women overlook, the quiet decision to dress the mind and spirit before the body. When you practice it, you'll notice that people respond not just to what you wear, but to the calmness and confidence you carry within. If you made it this far, write the word grace in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone you love. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, elegance and growth are choices you renew each day. Stay with this journey and watch the next video waiting for you. I'll see you back tomorrow.